I supposed to talk? I guess I'm supposed to talk first. The first thing I want to do is say I'm really honored that Jennifer's parents are here, Karen and Gary Lawrence of Louisville, Kentucky. Where are you? Where are you guys?
Oh, how do they know? What did you guys do?
Okay. I just want to say to you guys, good job. And God was having a really good day, the day he made Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes.
No idea what to do with my face when someone says something like that.
I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous, and I'm terrible at this, so I'm actually just going to be reading my questions, which is so embarrassing. But I just wanted to tell you guys that I don't know if I'm the right person to do this interview, because around the time when Joy was inventing her mop, I threw out my ironing board in a fit of misplaced feminism. Or maybe I just didn't want to iron anymore. When my mom found out, she started crying and told me it was the only thing we had inherited from her mother.
Oh, wow.
But I would also like to say that it is a truth universally acknowledged that you two are two of the most talented and original people in an industry that does not seem embarrassed about the endless replication of the mediocre. And I also want to tell David that the shot of the three Irish sisters on the couch looking fierce and the fighter is pretty much a Dowd family portrait. So I am just such a huge fan of both of you. So David, you've always had strong, interesting women characters. Joy is your first major feature centered on a woman. You said, wow, great shoes, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Look at those.
Yeah.
Wow.
Somehow the ironing board came back.
You said you were inspired because Joy Mangano had to become a bit of a gangster to succeed. So we're going to look at our first clip and see that.
I'm in a meeting with our lawyers.
What do you think you're doing?
Go home, Joy, and watch the numbers roll in on television. Make 50,000 mops, borrowing and owing every dollar, including your home.
It could have been handled better. I'll let Todd have another shot.
I don't want Todd or anyone else to try it. It should be me.
We don't have regular people. We have celebrities or spokesmodels do the selling. I told you this.
Who showed you the mop? Who sold it to you? Who taught you how to use it? And who convinced you that it was great after you thought it was worthless?
Excuse me, can you give us a second? Come with me.
So Joy was a single mother who invented the self-wringing Miracle Mop in the 90s and rose to be a mogul on QVC. David, you've said you're interested in daring women who make their way in the world against all odds. You mentioned some of your mom's friends or even your mom, and you mentioned Lillian Vernon, who started the first big catalog for household products. I mean, why was a guy looking at that, or what did you find of interest?
Well, I didn't have much choice about my mom. She lived in the same house. And many ventures started at her kitchen table. In the kitchen, she was either trying to get her friend elected mayor of our town, which she did, and she was involved in the League of Women Voters, getting out the vote. And she also tried to, make a book she tried to do things when she couldn't get back in the workplace. And I watched her struggle with that. And she was very formidable. And Lillian Vernon, I like, because Mount Vernon is next to my hometown, Mamaroneck. And she was married to a Latino, which gave me the notion of having Jennifer married to Edgar Ramirez to see this lady speak Spanish to her husband and have the best divorce ever in cinema.
Were there any particular products in there that did you ever order anything from there, or?
I can tell you what I love from Joy. Back in the day, my mom, Lillian Vernon, was like in our house, kind of a cool deal. And Gloria Cooper, Bradley's mother, was our consultant on QVC. She ordered all those things. And last night wore the Audrey Hepburn brooch to the premiere. Bradley himself had the mop in his house because he mopped his house. My job was to clean my floors and vacuum my whole house. We had a sponge mop, but Gloria had the actual other mop, which reaches into corners better, and Bradley took it to Georgetown with him.
Say Miracle Mop, we're not doing the movie anymore.
Miracle Mop, yeah. And to me, I use the toiletry kit that Joy has, that she made, which is like this thing that folds up, and you can take out the compartments. You can put your kids' toys in it too, or crayons. But the point is this. To me, it was not about a lady who just made a thing. It was about somebody who was hidden from herself and went from the age of 10 to the age of 45, and what the magic was when she was 10, and what it meant when she got married, and what it meant when she got divorced. What is the meaning of joy and emotion at each of those stations of life? And what's it mean to become a boss? And what is success really? Because I've watched this one in 5 years go from a kid who walked on our set rather innocently to have to handle an enormous amount of attention and responsibility, and how to handle it gracefully with dignity, and how to handle the ones she loves. And that's a big deal. And Joy has a big heart, and so does she. And so, but it does mean you have to become fierce. I answered 9 questions. You need to let Jennifer Lawrence talk.
Joy is a fairy tale complete with fairy godmother, a punishing stepmother type, and horrible half-sister that makes a point about how the prince is not necessary. David, you said it's half fiction because you had to come up with a soulful journey that was worthy of Jennifer. And I think that that's great in your case because you asked Joy's permission to use her life to create a fable. But I was curious with the issue in general, how much can a writer change a character's life when you're using the real name? Aaron Sorkin ran into some trouble with that on Steve Jobs, and the writers of Spotlight were very vocal about the importance of sticking to their facts. So, I mean, your situation is a different one, but I wondered if you had any thoughts on that issue.
Well, I wanted the license to go into her dreams. I don't know what Joy, we didn't use the last name Mangano because I don't know what Joy's actual nightmares were. I wanted to create a character who was haunted by the loss of her childhood dreams. That's something a filmmaker has to create. Many of the things in the movie are completely true. The most important things are completely true. The fact that there was a gun range next to the metal garage her father ran. The fact that her mother was obsessed with soap operas. These made up the psyche of a 10-year-old girl. The fact that she had the business stripped out of her hands numerous times. As happens, business is gangsterism. People will fight you for it until you learn how to fight back. And she did have to go alone to California and Dallas to have showdowns that I consider worthy of the best Westerns or the best gangster films that I've seen. But I hadn't seen it done with a woman, and I hadn't seen it done with a mother. So that's what I loved about it. That's all true, all that stuff.
Wow. Jennifer, you're in a movie about cleaning up, but you've talked about being sloppy or unafraid of dirt, as you put it. No?
That's her
live
motto.
with dirt. I'm not afraid to get my body dirty.
Yeah.
But
I just wondered if you guys had any.
I'm glad we're straightening that up.
I wondered if you guys had any odd couple relationship where one was a neat Nick and one was not, or.
Well, David and I don't live together. He always has more stuff than me. He always has his food bag, random vitamins.
I'm a bag person.
Yeah, he's got a lot of bags.
I like a lot of bags.
Oh, but every time I get sick, he always sends me an egg parmesan, or what's it called?
Eggplant
Parmesan sandwich, which I never particularly said, oh, I love eggplant Parmesan sandwiches. But every time I'm sick, I always get one with flowers. So sweet.
Don't you eat a little bit of it?
I do.
Yeah.
Every time.
Jennifer, do you ever shop from the television shopping channels?
No, I tried to when I was watching Joy. She was selling some product, and I was like, oh my God, I need that. And then I called and realized that I had recorded all of the episodes and it wasn't live.
What was it? Do you remember?
It was this thing that I don't need so hard. I don't need it at all. It's a tent where you can put your clothes and dry them without a dryer. I'm an owner of a washer and a dryer. But she just is such a good seller that you want it so badly. So I was like, I'll be able to give that to somebody. I know somebody in a dorm.
I have a red stained glass pheasant lamp that I ordered one night after having a glass of wine, and I can't figure out anyone to give it to.
Oh, I have her hangers.
If you
Her
want it.
hangers are. I spent
hangers.
most of a segment on Bravo today selling her hangers, the thin velvet ones. I won't say it now because you should just watch the segment on Bravo, and you'll get those hangers.
And don't you have her inventing more stuff for you guys now? If you think of things you need, will you have her invent that?
We have a lot of
By
ideas.
accident.
Yeah, we got to keep those.
An invention that you came up with, you put it in the hands of an inventor for free. That's
No,
what
no,
you did.
no, but we did it publicly, so we can get the rights back.
So, Jennifer, what kind of mop do you use?
I'm going to be honest, I haven't mopped my house since the first Hunger Games came out.
Here's,
wouldn't either.
Here's Jennifer's true answer is that she said her blessing was that she had an
I have an obsessive I have a mother with OCD. So she would give us all sorts of chores, and you need to do this, and you got to do that, and you'd listen to it and be like, oh my God. But she couldn't live with it not being done, and nothing ever got done well enough or fast enough. So I knew that if I just kept watching TV for 5 more minutes, she was gonna do it. So I got a lot of orders in the morning, but by the afternoon, you were doing them.